There is one thing that stops the vast majority of people from ever living out their destiny, their divine purpose here on this planet. And that one thing is the ego mind, which can be classified as the inner critic. That's a way that we know of it. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to identify that voice, why it's functioning that way, and how to do the damn thing anyway. So let's get into it. In my last video, I talked a lot about purpose and how to start to figure out what yours might be. I was talking with a client yesterday, and they have been circling around this idea of what they were meant to do, and they got this big hit of excitement, and they started drawing and painting logos and creating an Instagram, and that excitement was just bubbling through them. What was also coming up at the same time was the inner critic, the mind that is trying to protect them from taking the leap. All of the questions of what if you fail? What if you can't get clients? What if you can't do this thing or that thing, or nobody wants to see you, or all of the thoughts that tell you all the reasons why you can't do that thing. I have a whole series on the ego mind, and I'm going to continue to talk about it, but this is how the ego mind affects people living out their purpose. To sum it up, the ego mind is the place where all of your programming exists. All of the programming that you've picked up from your family, from society, from socialization throughout the years lives in this place and acts through you as beliefs and thought patterns. The purpose of the ego mind is to protect us and keep us safe. The thing about purpose, though, is that it looks like leaping into the unknown. Whatever your purpose is, there's gonna be some leaps that are exciting, exhilarating, and scary. So we have to start to realize the difference between the ego's idea of safety and pushing outside of our comfort zone and taking those big leaps, trusting what that excitement, that soul alignment is actually trying to communicate to us. If you've ever had a feeling of excitement or a wild idea, maybe it felt like purpose, maybe it didn't. It doesn't have to, it just can be excitement. It might feel crazy, like quitting your job and traveling the world, or writing a book, or releasing an album. On and on and on, the list could go. It feels scary. And inside of your mind, what will happen is thoughts will come up. The thoughts that come up are often all of the ways that you might fail, that other people will think you're crazy, that you're being impulsive, or a lot of self-doubt, like the reasons why you specifically could never do this. That voice inside of you is trying to protect you. And through our programming, we believe that protection often means being small, like not being seen, not taking risks, having stability. Again, I would recommend going through the Ego Mind series if you want to know a little bit more about the programming. And it is unique to each of us, but there are similarities. So the second that you start to hear these thoughts that doubt you, that make you think that you might fail, I would encourage you to start to use some self-talk, because your body gets involved in this. Like, you might feel fear inside of your body. You can put like a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly, or just like on your legs, just to ground yourself. Tell yourself, hey, mind, thanks for trying to protect me. We're safe. We're gonna be good. We need to follow our soul to have an expanded life. You can really use any self-talk that works for you, but you want to show up with compassion. You're not trying to kill off the ego or tell yourself these thoughts aren't real. They are happening, but they don't need to run the show. That excitement that's bubbling up inside of you, that thrill, that exhilaration, even that little bit of fear, that is a sign that you're going in the right direction. That's what it feels like to live a soul-aligned life. It's exciting and it's scary. taking a leap into the unknown is a part of the spiritual journey. That is what it is like to follow your intuition. People will look at you and think you're crazy. You might make choices that are completely outside of the realm of practicality and stability. Good. That's what you need to be doing. That's what we all need to be doing, because practicality in the world we live in means basically being trapped in jobs and lives that were chosen by our programming and not by what we truly want and deserve. I want you to expand out for a second. Think about yourself at 85 years old. Maybe you are 85 years old, but think about what you actually want your life to look like. Do you want to feel like you took some risks to get to a place that was fulfilling, was meaningful, was joyful? Or do you want to keep yourself stuck in ways that mean you have everything that you need, but you're not really happy or fulfilled, and nothing's filling that hole inside of you? It's okay. You can answer any way you want to. But if you want to know that you tried your damnedest to make the thing happen, then you need to be present with the thoughts that are coming up and still do the damn thing. So what does that look like? Maybe it's like this, starting a YouTube channel. Maybe it's writing every single day. And when the self-doubt thoughts come up, when the inner critic goes, you could never do this, you will never make it, you say, hey, thanks. I know you've served your purpose and protected me up until this point, but it's time for something new. And every time it comes up, you move through it by talking to it and getting into your body, allowing your body to feel that expansion. Your body can also be and needs to be a part of this. So it might look like moving your body and shaking out the feelings of fear to actually get present in what is meant for you. It could also just look like I said, hand on chest, deep breathing, telling yourself, I am okay, I'm safe, I'm excited, this is meant for me. Because the minute that you actually choose that this is meant for you, everything is rearranging so that it happens. Finding and living your purpose is the greatest spiritual journey that you will ever go on. It will bring up everything that needs to be cleared away. The ego mind gets really loud with all of these thoughts so that you can process them. The choice is to say thank you for coming up and not to sink into and believe them. And this is a process. This is part of the journey. And it gets easier every time you practice. And even when you might receive evidence that things aren't working out, ignore it. Ignore it. Choose and stay with that choice that this is meant for you. Because the truth is you are here for a purpose. And the sooner that everybody is living from a place of excitement, living from their zone of genius, and aligning with others, creating from that place, we're raising the vibrations. We're raising our own energy and those around us. We become permission slips for other people to see. We're allowed to live differently than we have for generations. In fact, it is the only way that shit will change. Finding and living your purpose is, again, exciting, exhilarating, and kind of scary, and also the most amazing thing that will ever happen to you. I'd love to hear if you know what your purpose is, if you feel like you're still battling those thoughts and what those thoughts are. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I work one-to-one with people, helping them rewire their ego mind and find and live their purpose. If you're interested, link is in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe if you like this. There's plenty more coming, and I will see you in the next video.